Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Shit Trainers Say, a weekly podcast brought to you by Catalyst Personal Training and Functional Nutrition. I'm here with my general manager, Debbie Roman. Say hi to everyone, Debbie.
Hi.
And these are conversations that we have every day with our clients that we would like to share with you, see if you can gain some benefit from the knowledge, or you can say we're full of shit and not believe us. So it's up to you. But Deb had a great topic today that we're going to jump into. So Deb, you want to take the lead on this one?
Yeah, so hello everybody. I hope everybody's staying safe and sane. We are really excited to see you soon. So welcome to the podcast. So I had a conversation with one of our clients today during the her online private session. And it was regarding just the quality of trainers at Catalyst and what our clients expect from our trainers, not only in the aspect of knowledge, not only, it is just not about me telling you I want you to do single arm press for 10 repetitions each side. So it is more about that. And I think that the quality of the trainer, the personality, the energy, the way that they engage with you, the way that they change things up if you have an injury or pain or aches, or if you're just not feeling it that day. That is really what we're looking for when we bring up somebody to our team. And you probably know that we are going to reopen for sure on June 15th. You are going to be seeing new faces when you come to the gym. We have been working behind the scenes, trying to do literally everything that we can to make sure that when we reopen, you have the best, safest experience. And part of this is bringing new trainers to Catalyst, because we want to grow, we want to expand, and we want you to have a better experience than any other gym. So we've never done this before, but I'm the one who's going to be training the trainers and introducing the trainers to you. And then Grace is going to be doing this in the afternoon. At the end of the 2 weeks that you're going to see these new trainers shadowing and just talking to you and learning everything about Catalyst, I want you guys to be the ones who tell us who you want us to hire. I want you to tell me why. I want you to tell me if you think this trainer will be a good fit, why and why not. I just want you to feel that you are in control of the quality of the training that you're going to be getting, because we want you to get the best training experience, whether you're training with Jim, myself, Grace. We want to make sure that whoever we bring to the team is someone that is going to, first of all, stick around, but also be, perform to the standards that we want to offer you. So I think that's a great idea. I don't know if you agree with that, Jim, or not.
Yeah, I think it's important to get feedback from everybody, from management, from other trainers, from the team, from clients. I think that's really important. That's one of the kind of foundational principles that we were founded on, is getting that feedback, because I believe that's the only way that you can get better. But with that said, I know when we were talking before we started recording, a client was sharing with you what they want in a trainer. Can you share some of those qualities or abilities that they're looking for, that they share with you that they're looking for in a trainer?
Yeah, well, of course they want the knowledge, but they also want somebody who is willing to keep the energy up during the session. They want accountability, because at the end of the day, that's what they're paying us. They want somebody who is capable of switching things up if necessary, but also staying within their goals and limitations and their program, and still give them a good workout, instead of throwing everything out of the window and then just doing whatever. They want someone who's flexible and capable of how do I say this, like, just act on the moment and do whatever needs to be done. and I think that's something that we do at Catalyst. They want somebody who walks the talk. So if I come here and tell you that you need to eat healthy, you need to work out, but I'm not doing it myself, I mean, let's just be honest, you're not going to do it. I'm not inspiring you to do anything. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do if you're not, if I'm not doing it? You know what I mean? So I think that's really important, and that's something that we we have been focusing on a little bit more, especially with the last couple of trainers we've hired. They are trainers who breathe and live fitness. So I think that's really important because it also brings up the energy with the staff and our team to like keep each other accountable. Um, and at the end of the day, that's what fitness is: community, teamwork, doing the thing that you said you were going to do. So those are the main things that this client told me.
Okay. And then, so let's break each one of those down. So based on what you said, I got 5 categories. Let's break it down to like basic knowledge, because I know for me, one of the, and I was listening to a lecture by Mike Boyle, he's a well-known strength coach in the industry. He's been around for a long time. He used to be the strength coach at Boston University. He was the strength coach for the USA Women's Olympic Hockey Team. He's trained several pro athletes. He's created his own certification, functional strength coach certification. He runs strengthcoach.com. He speaks all over. Very knowledgeable guy. He said that most of the trainers in this industry are not good because they get a week insert and then certification, and then they commence to training their clients the way they like to train because that's the extent of their knowledge base. Yeah. So with that in mind, what do you think I know I have an idea, but I want to hear from you. What do you think is a good base of knowledge for a trainer to have?
You mean like qualifications and things like that?
No, I mean like, so say when I started out training, I was 24 years old and I loved training. I loved strength training. I was doing bodybuilding. Okay. Yeah. And I wanted to train everybody the way I trained because it was good for me. It should be good for you. Yeah. Whether you're a 24-year-old guy or 48-year-old woman, right? And now I know that is wrong, right? So even as a 25, as a trainer, I got to know that just because I like to train a certain way doesn't mean that my client needs to train a certain way. I need to adjust my training to their movement ability, their goals, and their strength levels and comfort level to some extent. I need to coach them through some uncomfortable things that is going to help them reach their goals. So what do you see as the knowledge base that's necessary to train most clients correctly?
I think just basic knowledge of how the body moves, paying attention to what the main injuries are depending on their age group. It's just so specific, but I do agree with you 100% that the way we train ourselves is never, or it's rarely going to be the way that you're going to train a client, because we do this with intensity and passion because we love fitness. A client doesn't, it's really weird when they come with you with that mentality. So I think that you need to have the knowledge of course, strength training, flexibility, endurance training, and then just place the client in each of those categories and adjust the level of training for them in each of those categories to design an effective program for them. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. And that makes perfect sense. You have to know all kinds of different methods of training and understand movement issues and how to correct movement deficiencies and compensations and things like that. So kind of a movement-based training.
Yeah.
And I also think it's really important that when clients come in, the hardest thing for most clients is to walk through the door
Yeah.
because it's
For
intimidating,
sure.
right? So you have to make them feel comfortable. You have to try to understand their situation, their starting point, and start them appropriately so they don't get discouraged. The
Mhm.
most important thing that I found with most clients, regardless of their goals, regardless of their movement quality, regardless of their ability, they want to leave with a win. You know, they want to walk out of there. It's like, because most clients, when they first walk in, they're like, oh, I'm really out of shape. I don't know if I can do this, you know. And then if they walk out of there with a win, then their motivation picks up and they're a little bit more eager to come back the next time. And if you give them a win, no matter how small each time, then that's enough to keep them progressing toward their goals. You know, and for some, like for us, a win might be like a 32-inch vertical. All right. If I get, you know, some person coming off the street who hasn't trained since maybe high school and is 40, 50 pounds overweight, they're not going to be interested in a 32-inch vertical, right? They might be just interested in losing a little bit of weight, tightening up some areas, and walking out of and being able to walk out of there and carry on their normal daily activities. That would be a win for them.
Yeah.
So it's just understanding things like that and taking my ego out of the way and focusing on the clients with
Yeah.
the knowledge base, and also making them feel comfortable in that I get it. I understand. I understand where they are. I understand they want to be in better shape, and meeting them there and showing them, hey, you're able to do this, you were able to do this. Show them their wins so that they can continue to be motivated to come in and train. So I think that's it's hard to separate that out,
Mhm.
but I think knowledge base is definitely in there. And then energy. Let's talk about energy, because we get some, and I'm going to just start with my own pet peeves, you know, because I've been training for like 30 years and I've seen a lot of trainers, and I've seen a lot of trainers come and go, good and bad. And the thing that is a pet peeve of mine with a trainer is don't be an energy vampire, and don't hold your clients hostage to your agenda. And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is don't come in like belly aching about your day and about your problems or whatever is going on in your life, because that is not what the client is paying for. The client is paying for you to keep them motivated, keep them moving, keep them going toward their goals, hold them accountable, all of that, all of those things. So anything that's preventing them from reaching their goal, be it some kind of physical movement compensation, or some kind of mental barrier that they need to get over. All right, something in their life or some issue that they have to address so that they can continue to progress toward their goals. So I think that is the energy that you need to bring to a session. You know,
Yeah.
whenever a client presents you with an obstacle, you need to be able to present them with a solution, or encourage them to find a solution around that obstacle. Do
Yeah.
you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, and it's a really thin line, especially when you train somebody for a long time, or if you actually like them as a person and you feel
Mhm.
like you have a relationship with them. I just want to remind you that at some point you're going to ask them for money again, and it could be uncomfortable to ask for more money. Like if you're going to change your rates and things like that, just remember that at the end of the day, this is business, and you can be friends with somebody, you can be friendly with somebody, but when you are in the gym for those 60 minutes, you're a trainer. You are in charge of the session. And the way I like to think about it, and I do it literally every day, I go, well, I don't go to the gym right now, but like when I train people, I am in character, like I am on stage. That's the way I see it. I wanted to be an actress for a long time. Well, this is pretty much the same thing because I am not myself when I'm training people. To a certain extent, I am, but you have to be mindful of how you're behaving, how you're talking, why you're talking about, who you're talking to, because once that line is crossed, it is so hard to go back to a professional relationship, if that makes any sense. So if there's nothing
Absolutely.
wrong with being friends with your client, I mean, who am I to say that? My birthday party was nothing but callous people. But when you're at the gym, that's a different story. So, and the energy level, yeah, I mean, the client does not want to hear about your problems. Your mom maybe wants to hear about your problems, but like, really think about it. Even your friends sometimes don't want to hear about your problems. So just try to be professional. That's it. Keep the intensity up because that's what their client needs. They struggle to get to the door, like Jim was saying. Show them that it's a safe environment, that it's fun, that it's something that they're gonna be the best 60 minutes of their day when they're here with you. So yeah, but it could be a little tricky to go back and forth with the professional life and personal life. So
Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act. The art and science of personal training. The science is easy. Reps, weight, progression, periodization, all of that. The art is what takes time. The
okay.
art is what enables you to become a master trainer. That art of knowing when to push people, when not, when
Yeah.
to push up against that line, when to back away, all of those things. And I think personal training is unique because you said something like when you're the trainer and you're working with a client, you're in charge of that session. You control that session. You're the boss of that session. Even if you're training a big time CEO or attorney or physician, you're still the boss of that profession. And I think personal training is one of the few professions where the client actually tries to tell you what they want sometimes. Like I don't think I would ever go to the doctor and say, okay, I want you to treat me this way, or go to my accountant and say, can you do my books like this? Or go to my attorney and say, hey, can you make this legal thing happen? And tell them how I want them to do it. But for some reason, and I think because trainers work mostly with like type A people,
Mm-hmm.
and they come in and then the client winds up dictating the session instead of the trainer. And that's where that art comes in of still being in charge of the session, listening to your client, but also educating them as to why they may need to do certain things, even though they may not want to.
Yeah.
So, and I think that goes with the energy of that session, and then the ability to pivot on the fly. I mean, so with all the clients that come into Catalyst, we do a full assessment. Uh, we do several movement screens. We get baseline measurements. We do a health and history, orthopedic history, medical history, and we talk about your goals along with a litany of other things that are covered in our assessment. And then based on that assessment, then we come up with a personalized program for you. Well, I may take somebody through an assessment, come up with a program, and then they come in and they tweak their back playing golf for the weekend, or twisted their ankle going on a run. So then I have to make adjustments, but still stay within their goals and their program and the overall mission of the program. And so I think that's really, really important because I think some people, some trainers get fixated and say, oh, let's just push through it. And I think that's the wrong approach.
Yeah.
And clients really appreciate it too when you can still give them a good workout and be able to pivot on the fly because of some, they slept wrong, they slipped, or they tweaked their back, or whatever, or maybe they didn't get much sleep the night before and they're a little bit tired and they were up for a hard workout. Well, maybe a hard workout is not what's best for them, even if it's on the program. And I say it all the time to all the trainers at Catalyst. The program is a script. The question is, do you want to be in some B-roll movie or do you want to be an Oscar nominee? How do you want to use that script to train your client? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing of like how a client develops trust in you when they see that you're not treating them just like a number or like a program that you need to follow. You're actually training the person, and you're actually paying attention to their goals, to their limitations. And like you said, sometimes it might not even be anything physical. I feel like we as the female trainers are a little bit more intuitive. Like I get to know the client if they come to me, and I can see that their vibe is different. They might share with me a little about what's going on. So then, I'm gonna give you a good workout. I might not even say anything to them, but I would just make sure that I adjust the program based on their energy levels, their physical, state. So it is a lot of um like give and take with the clients, and I think that that's one of the key elements that is going to help a trainer develop a long lasting relationship with a client. So
Agreed. And then the next point is accountability, which I think is a deal breaker for most trainers and clients, because
yeah,
this is where I see most trainers fall short is accountability. Like a client will come to a trainer and say, these are my goals. And the trainer will write them out and say, okay, I'm going to get this program for you. And then they start training them, you know, and they never have them step on the scale. They never reassess them. They never take their body fat again.
yeah,
Any of those things. There's nothing to hold the client and the trainer accountable to those goals. Because when a client comes to me as a trainer and tells me, I'm going to hire you to train me to help me accomplish these goals, I have some accountability in that, and I need to honor that. The client also has some accountability in that, and I need to hold them accountable to their goals that they set out.
yeah,
So, but I think that's where most trainers miss the boat. Now, we have it built into our systems because we do regular reassessments to help keep clients accountable to their goals. But I've worked at other places, some that do a really good job at holding clients accountable, and some that do a horrible job. Actually, they don't do it at all
yeah,
unless the client requests it. If the client has to request a reassessment, maybe they need a new trainer, because
yeah.
that trainer should be taking charge of that and telling them when they're up for reassessment and making sure that they're, hey, you're staying on track for your goals, you're doing a great job, all of these things. But you don't know that if you don't know the numbers. So you want to add to that?
Yeah, and I think that sometimes accountability could be a little bit different than just tracking the numbers. Because I understand why some people wouldn't like to get their numbers checked every single time, but there are other things that could be used to track progress, like your relationship with food, your consistency in your workouts, the way that you feel physically and mentally, quality of sleep. Like if a client doesn't want to get on the scale, that's fine. I'm not gonna force you. I'm not gonna make you do anything. But I'm gonna ask you to tell me, okay, so what are we going to track? What are you comfortable sharing with me to make sure that we're going on the right track? Because if we don't track, we don't know what's going on. If we don't know what's going on, I can't help you. And then you're going to get frustrated. And then that's how the relationship is going to end, the client trainer relationship. So it is important to be honest with the client and tell them, hey, I need to know how you're doing so I can help you. And I think that even though they're not gonna want to hear that, they're gonna appreciate it on the long term, because they know that that's what they need. That's why they came. So
Absolutely. And then the last one is walking the talk.
yeah,
So
that's my favorite.
yeah, and again, like everybody's got different goals, reasons why they strength train, um, things they want to accomplish through strength training. But the bottom line is, you got to be, if like the number that I always use, the statistics I always use is that 80% of the population doesn't have a gym membership, doesn't work out, doesn't go to the gym. And that number hasn't changed in close to a decade.
It's a lot.
And that's a lot of people. And most gyms advertise to the 20%. Those are the six-pack abs, the booty short people. But most people neglect or don't advertise. It's getting a little bit better to that 80%. So if you get somebody coming in who wants to change their lifestyle, wants to be healthier, it's going to be a struggle because they're going to have all kinds of habit loops they're going to have to break and change, establish new habits. And that's a lot. It's a lot to struggle with. And some days are going to be great. Some days are not. And so you need to be able to be there and help coach them through both types of days. And I think your ability to do that is severely hampered if you don't take that journey yourself. So I think that's the importance of walking the talk, whether it be like winning a bodybuilding contest or, finishing in the top of your age group at a triathlon, or being able to run around with your kids or grandkids. Whatever your goal is, it doesn't matter what your goal is. What matters is that you can relate to the barriers that are in front of that goal based on habit loops that you've already established in your life that you have to change. And if you're not changing any of your own habit loops to reach your goals, then it puts you behind the 8 ball. It makes you seem kind of hypocritical too, if you're trying to help other people through that and you haven't worked through any of that yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it will limit it, like your self-esteem too, and your performance when you train somebody, because whether you want to admit it or not, if you're not doing what you're telling people to do, you're not going to be confident in the way you talk to people. You're not going to be confident, like holding somebody accountable. You could fake it, for a while, but eventually you're not going to keep that person accountable because you can't even keep yourself accountable. And that is something that I believe that if you're not working on your personal goals, fitness related, I believe you shouldn't be a trainer. Oh, what the heck?
What's up, Bart? We just got Zoom bombed.
By me?
Yeah. We're in the middle of recording a podcast.
Okay.
That is great.
Lydia was trying to do it because we were looking to whatever. We couldn't, yeah.
Do a FaceTime.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Bart. That was one of our clients, Bart, who just Zoom bombed us.
That was a good picture too. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Anything.
Bart was hanging with himself in the hot tub.
With a Corona.
Yeah.
Great. I was saying, I don't know. But yeah, you need to walk the talk. You need to put yourself through some hell to be actually able to understand what people are dealing with, because it's not an easy thing to do to reach any goal. So if you don't do it yourself, that's just a lie.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, absolutely. All right, so that pretty much concludes our this episode of Shit Trainers Say. And if you have any questions or issues that you're dealing with or you want us to address on the show, reach out to us. You can contact us through catalyststl.com, and let us know what you think of the podcast. If you like what you hear, leave a review. 5 stars are always the best. Or you can write us a little paragraph and we'll give you a shout out on the show. So until next time, we hope that you are well.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.